One thing to take away from Oud Shamash is it has its nose's blueprint all over it. You'll know what I mean in the review. Now, the nose behind this is Bertrand de Chafour. If you don't know him or you don't know what I'm talking about, pause the video, head over to Fragrantica, go take a look at Bertrand de Chafour's resume. Or I could just give you the cliff notes. He's one of my favorite parfumiers. He's at least in my top 3 right now. And this is one of his better releases. Let's delve into this one. YouTube fragrance family, welcome to another Robes 08 fragrance review. Today I'm putting my nose on the house of the different company and their scent called Oud Shamash. Now, prior to the review, I want to thank my partner in crime, FragranceX.com. Please utilize my code ROBES08 and you get 15% off on any purchase on Fragrance X, including Oud Shamash here. They carry quite a bit of the different companies, so one of the brands that's not really getting much press on YouTube, but when they do, I like to see videos on this brand, a really good brand. So thank you to FragranceX.com. Now, let's take a look under the hood of Oud Shamash. It hit the shelves back in 2011. Bottle size, the one you see here is the one I own, is the 1.7 ounce. It was readily available, that one. But they also offer on their website, the different companies' website, an 8.5 ounce of this stuff, refillable bottle, and a limited edition 3.3 ounce refillable. So I'm not too sure if that's only on their website, but that's the only place I've seen those two. Usually all sites have the 1.7 ounce, but I could be wrong. Concentration, this is in eau de parfum. Pricing, well, the ballers have to come out. This is $220 USD, much higher than, of course, the original line of the different company. So ballers, beware. This is right up your alley as far as pricing goes. It is part of La Collection Excessive, which also includes Oud for Love and Aurore Nomade. The group, it is an oriental woody fragrance. Now let's take a look at the notes. The note breakdown is quite peppered here, so let's take a look at it. Up top we have Artemisia, saffron, cinnamon, pink pepper, rum. In the mid, not so much. We only have rose and cypriol oil. And in the base we have labdanum, sandalwood, amber, oud, patchouli, leather, musk, vanilla, and tolu balsam. Major notes to this nose right here would have to be the Davana, or also known in the note breakdown as Artemisia, the oud, and the tolu balsam. Oud Shamash is one of those that I'll give you guys a hint right now. If you're an oud type of person, this is more about the blend. This is more about everything in this fragrance. If you know de Chafour's work, you'll know that, like Jubilation 25, it's more about the actual blending of the notes and the story of this fragrance than just one singular note popping through. So I would not really recommend this just for oud-based people. If you're looking for an oud-based scent, that's probably the wrong place to go. But if you're looking for something that has complexity, that has some depth to it, this is right up your alley. And if you know de Chafour's work, the best fragrance to really compare this to, and I'm not talking about as far as notes go, but as far as the blending and how it was built, this would really compare to Jubilation 25, which I absolutely love, from Amouage. So the nose behind this, of course, I've already talked about him quite a bit, but he is, I would have to say, if I had to name my top 3 parfumiers of all time, Elena's up there. De Chafour would be right behind him. I don't even know who my third one would be, because those two are very much separating from the rest. The man that, of course, brought us Jubilation 25, which is one of my favorites of all time. So how many sprays and where with Oud Shamash? I'll do my standard one on the chest as my first spray, and then 3 on the neck. I go a little heavy with this one, so I go 3 on the neck. When I go 3 on the neck, I go 1 here, and then 1 in the back of the neck. I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, so I will wear it right here. Inner elbows, usually. I try to stay away from over here. I like it better, the sprays here in inner elbows. So that is my sprays. You're looking at 6 sprays, which is quite a bit, but during these Canadian winters and fall, you're gonna notice that if you're outside a lot, that ain't nothing with a fragrance like this. It will project very well during those Canadian winters and fall. So let's get to describing this sucker. I'm just going to remind me of the introduction, even though it's quite a bit in the air here. But I just wanted to remind myself of that beautiful introduction. So the opening of Oud Shamash does not disappoint. It does remind me immediately of many 3D made scents from Dish of Food. And what I mean by 3D is it hits you by a lot of things. Not only are you going to get spice, woods, fruits, you're going to get all kinds of things out of this fragrance. That's what a 3D scent. Some scents feel like really 2D. It really feels like some fragrances, a lot of designers, not to poo-poo on them, but like heavy grapefruit up top with a little bit of musk in the backbone. That's a 2D scent. 3D scent gives me everything. So it does remind me quite a bit of Jubilation 25 from Amouage. Now, the major factors that hit my nose immediately are the spices. The spice market is there. You're going to get that pink pepper. You're going to get that saffron and that cinnamon. You get quite a bit of actually all 3 of these. However, even though the spices are central, there's many aspects surrounding this. Very, very much depth. There's lots of depth here. The Divana is one of the stars of the show here that gives the scent a green, a fennel, like almost bitter note, giving a faint licorice feeling and almost a smell of absinthe. And if you take a look at what Artemisia is, that's the kind of smell I'm getting with a lot of the spice market coming in. You're going to get that wood coming through that from, of course, the oud from the backbone of this fragrance. So very much a 3D like introduction here. This is the part where things go a little crazy with this fragrance because that 3D effect is in full effect. You got the spice market that I talked about, and I'm talking about 3 spices, and they are there. They're central. The Divana, also central, and gives you many aspects in the scent. Not only that, but to give you more, and to make it a little more complex for your nose, the Divana is paired with the Nagamartha, the cypriol oil, which is a cousin of papyrus, which can smell woody with earthy tones, some spicy nuances too. And as a reference, Nagamartha is utilized in a designer scent which is called Boss Bottled Oud. For all my designer heads out there, a great scent from the house of Hugo Boss, surprisingly. So as you can see, there's a lot of aspects to this fragrance. Very unique opening, yet a lot of familiar facets to the fragrance. Really, the one thing, again, I'm smiling a lot just because I can smell it, that it's a very interesting scent, not oud-centric. And a lot of Bertrand de Chauffour's creative orientals always are about the blend. They're never about the single note. And here, of course, the name oud gets everybody towards the oud, right? Oh, how much oud is it going to smell? Is it going to smell synthetic? Is it going to smell like real oud? What kind of oud? Cambodian oud? And it is in the name and the scent. It's part of the blend, and it's a portion of the whole idea. It has some balsamic qualities, this fragrance. It almost has a dried fruit accord too in it. And I know it has rum in the note breakdown, but I never really felt much booziness to this fragrance. But I feel like the idea of rum, a lot of fragrances do this. You get that idea of rum, but it's not really rum. But it's not a bad thing. It just gives another piece of the puzzle in Oud Shamash. Now, the opening of Oud Shamash is simply emphasizing on the spices. Starts very dry as a scent. That's one thing that I've noticed on this. It does have some balsamic qualities, but very, very dry. The oud starts peaking, and it will be the backbone of this particular scent. As a whole, in the transition from opening to heart, the scent goes from spicy, woody, dry, smooth, yet also balsamic, and very much comforting. The one thing that I came to respect this fragrance or love about this fragrance is the smoothness. It comes out the gate a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a nose killer. Like, it doesn't hit you really hard, but it's very smooth and buttery, and that's the balsamic qualities here. It really is a smooth fragrance from top to bottom. Now, getting into the heart of Oud Shamash, now getting into the thick of things, the spices start turning the volume down. The smoothness of the fragrance is pushing, and it shows itself with a little less bite here. This is from the creamy sandalwood. The Tolu balsam also plays a part of that. It supports the oud note. The rose itself shows a soft floral aspect to the fragrance. It's a good secondary note more into the heart of the fragrance. Leather here, more suede-like. I didn't feel much bite to it. There's no smokiness out of the leather. It really felt like just more of a suede-like leather here. The patchouli gives the scent some green aspects to the scent from heart right up till the end. The scent gets much woodier, more into the heart, and takes center stage from the spices up top. So it almost is a spicy centric fragrance up top. Again, there's a lot of aspects, so it's not just spice, but the woods kind of almost take over more into the dry down of this one. Now, I mentioned this earlier in the review, but if you're an oud-centric fan and thinking this may be a super oudy scent or a higher-end oud scent, I truly believe you're going to be sorely disappointed. In my opinion, the one thing with Oud Shamash that really got my attention is that with this dry down, there's plenty of notes here that actually have quite a bit of bite to them, depending on how they're utilized. But the smoothness was the thing that really got me with this fragrance, and it prevailed, keeping it really a soft edge to the scent all the way through, and still a great, interesting melange of darker notes. So let's get into the revolver of this one. I'll let you know a little bit more about seasons, recommended age, and all that good stuff. So let's get into the revolver. Recommended age, let's hit that up first. More of a mature scent here. I'm looking at 25 plus. It has more of a mature vibe. Price point's a huge factor. Availability is a huge factor also. I don't think the teens are really going to be looking at this kind of scent. Again, it's all about taste. Okay, I can see an 18-year-old rocking this and rocking it well. However, I think for the majority, 25 and up. Seasons. This is a darker scent, fall, winter. I could see spring and summer nights. Those cooler nights in those warmer seasons, this would work very, very well. Day or night. Well, this is more of a nighttime scent. I really don't see this as a daytime scent, to be quite honest. But I have worn it in the day, but I think it's more of a nighttime scent for me. Work appropriate, that's a close call. I've worn it at work. I've done it in the winter months, but not really as a recommended work type scent. I could find something a lot easier to wear during those times. That goes to signature scent worthy, only really for cooler months. I could see this as wearing a lot of it, almost signature scent like, but I could see you tucking it away for those warmer months. So my final thoughts on Oud Shamash, within my wearings with this one, the magic of this scent has to be, and I've said it like several times in this fragrance review, is one thing that really stood out is the smoothness and the balance of the notes. They really played well together. Nothing really was jumping out at me, and that could be a downfall to this fragrance. A very interesting, very much well-blended scent with some complexity, as Bertrand de Chafour does. I think the magic is truly there for fans of de Chafour's work. Just like your favorite artist in paintings and favorite actor in pictures or a musician with a new album, you get to see the paint strokes that Bertrand de Chafour can do and can only do in fragrances, and you start to appreciate his work. It's just like Jean-Claude Elena and me. I see his previous work from older stuff that he does in newer stuff, and I'm just like, oh, you did that. You sneak that in, right? His cumin or his caraway that he likes to sneak in sometimes, Jean-Claude Elena does. Same thing here. It really, when I smelled this fragrance, it brought a smile to me because I was like, oh, there's a little bit of Juby in here. It really feels like the melange of notes. Only this man can do it, and he did a great, great job here. This release has the quality that I expected from Bertrand de Chafour, and I really was not disappointed. A very solid release from the brand, the different company. Now, one thing that I'm adding to fragrance reviews now is positives to take away, negatives to take away. So it'll give you a little bit of two sides of the coin, even though it's a very positive fragrance review or very negative fragrance review. Every single fragrance that I review always has positives and negatives to them. So positives that I took away from this fragrance is complexity, blend, and artistic touches. It really is Bertrand de Chafour through and through. That is one thing that I certainly appreciate in this fragrance. Now, negatives to take away from this fragrance. Price point is one of them. That price point is high for 50 mils. May smell like another Bertrand de Chafour that you own as far as build goes. So that is one thing that a lot of Bertrand de Chafour fragrances, maybe if you own Jubilation 25, this may be a redundant one because you would wear both of those for the same type of occasions. So if you're not a collector like me, this may start getting a little redundant. especially those oud-centric fans out there, and I did say it in the review, if you're looking for an oud-based scent and it has the name Oud and you really like the different company, you may come out disappointed with this because this has more of a, it's more about all the blend of the notes than just one note, one singular note being pushed through to your nose. So those are things that are negatives as far as a takeaway goes. Now let's get into my rating system. Let's take a look on how Oud Shamash did. Projection. 6 bottles out of 10. I really didn't feel like this fragrance. Again, my spraying power is 6 sprays. I really never felt that this fragrance really pushed that much. So I'm giving it a 6. Longevity, that's another story. This thing does last. 8 out of 10. 8 to 10 hours. It is hitting my 7 to 9 that I always look for any fragrance, designer or niche. This gave me that workday 8 to 10. If you're going out at night, it's going to stick with you 8 to 10. You're good. Sometimes it actually went more than double digits. Like it went 10, 11, 12 hours on my skin. So really good longevity on this one. Compliment factor, 6 bottles out of 10. I'm going to get a lower score here, fairly average. It didn't really garner much attention. Uniqueness, 8 bottles out of 10. There's some uniqueness to this fragrance. I feel like it Disha Fool style. He didn't really step away. This is his comfort zone. This is one hell of a comfort zone, by the way. Beltane, you are a genius, by the way. But this is like his comfort zone. I really feel like this is the kind of stuff that he enjoys doing. He really just has the palate. He knows what to do with these kind of scents. But uniqueness is there. There's only one nose, couple noses that can do this kind of stuff, but he does it great. Pricing versus what you get. Even though she's a pricey little devil, 8 bottles out of 10, I think very solid for what you're getting. As far as price point goes, you're getting some pretty good juice here. Versatility, 7 bottles out of 10. That smoothness kind of pulls it up a little bit. I think if this one was turned up just a little bit more, I think it would hurt its versatility. I don't think I could wear it during the day, things like that. So it is one of those fragrances. This is, I'll be honest, this is the best time to wear this fragrance is either fall, like it's perfect in the fall, and spring when it's raining a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful scent. That goes to smell by itself. 9 bottles out of 10. Excellent transition, excellent complexity. Really a beautiful scent. There's nothing in this fragrance that feels out of place to me. Very nicely done. And that goes to an overall score. Now, I was juggling with this one. The last couple months I've been kind of going, is this perfect 10 worthy? I got that perfect 10 club that not too many scents make. And I have to go with a 9 out of 10. A very solid release from the different company. And anything in the 9s or 10s from me, I think is, some of the best fragrances out there. When I review them, I give them 9s or 10s. And this is right up there. One of the better releases from the different company. What a great brand. This is a brand you got to check out. If you haven't checked it out, go check out the different company. They are very, very good. And that goes to buy, try, or pass. Again, I think if the price is too high, but you do like Disha Fool's work, you got to try it. At least get a little sample from Lucky Center or anywhere and try it because, of course, pricing and complexity are two factors here that'll sway people away, especially the pricing may sway you away, but you at least have to try it once on your skin just to see what it does. An excellent, excellent set from the different company. So there you have it, my take on Oud Shamash from the different company. I'd love to hear your take on this one. If you have smelt this fragrance, give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'd love to hear your take on this one. If you haven't smelt this fragrance, but you know a little bit about the different company, comment below. Tell us your favorite from the brand. This is a brand that a lot of people don't know about, and I want some more press on this brand, and that includes me. I think I own, this is my fifth bottle from the brand. I still got to review some more. I think I only reviewed the Rose Poivre in this one now. So I got more to do. Celle de Vetiver needs to get done. That I know. So again, I'd love to hear your comments below. If you enjoyed this content, if you haven't hit it yet, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. If you have subscribed, did you hit that bell yet? Are you part of my notification gang? If you haven't already checked me out, I am on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can just type in Robes08, and we got the links all down below to make your life easier on that. I also have a Facebook group. It's called Fragrance Guru Nation. We are the biggest Facebook fragrance group on there. We are at 14,900 members. Yeah, that many people talking about fragrances. People are selling. People are buying. We're talking about new releases. We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff on there. So come join us today. Now, I'm going to leave you a few takes from all that social media. I asked all the people that follow me on social media, I said, hey, what do you guys think about this fragrance? I want to hear the good and bad. So it gives you a different take on a particular fragrance, especially if you watch my video and you're like, that sounds interesting. There's not too many other reviews on this one on YouTube, so it's nice to have other takes on it before you pull the trigger, either on a sample or a full bottle, because you're a boss. So I'll leave you a few takes from social media. I thank everybody that gave their take on this scent on social media. As always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching.